G'day, welcome to Great White Gaming. Today I have a Rillaboom VMAX deck to show off. So the deck is primarily based around our two Rillaboom. So our regular Rillaboom from Sword and Shield with the ability Voltage Beat. So once per turn you can add up to 2 grass energy from your deck and attach them to one of your Pokemon and then shuffle your deck. And our new Rillaboom VMAX, which for 3 grass and 1 colorless energy, max beating does 130, but we can discard up to 3 energy, 3 grass energy even, and do 50 more damage for every card that we discard in that way. So that does mean that we are hitting up to 280, which is a really good number. It knocks out key tag teams that we're after. We are combining this with the Rowlet and Alolan Executor, specifically for that super growth ability. So being able to get our stage 3 out, essentially turn 1 if we go second, or even turn 2 if we go first, is an amazing ability. It also has that Calming Hurricane attack, so 2 grass and a colorless for 150. Heal 30 damage from this Pokemon, doing 150 damage. And of course our Tropical Hour GX that does 200 damage. And then if we have an extra 3 energy on the card as well, then the opponent has to also shuffle all of the energy from their Pokemon into their deck. So that is really useful against things like ADP, where they've got a whole bunch of energy out on the field, and same thing with PikaRom. So because it's a fairly beefy boy, he does a decent amount of damage and certainly sets up our Rillabooms, but we do want to use our Rillaboom VMAX as the main attacker in the deck. So we've got a couple of support Pokemon, just the one Dedenne. Dead Change is still super useful if you draw dead or need to just get out of a bad hand. We can certainly use that Dead Change. And I have got a single Eldegoss in the deck as well, just to be able to recover some of our supporters. So one of the great things about the Eldegoss is that it basically has the same attack as Dedenne's GX attack, but because it's not a GX, we can reuse it as often as we want. And because we've got energy acceleration, we can actually put energy onto our Eldegoss if we've got spare energy in our hand, or we need to get rid of them or shuffle cards back into our deck. We can load up on the Eldegoss and then use its attack to shuffle it back into the deck and then bring those energy cards back out with Rillaboom's effect. So it is quite useful. Obviously, the colorless energy, we could use anything, but it has a bit more flexibility in a grass deck. So Pokemon Online is fairly simple. In terms of our trainer cards, we're of course playing 4 Netball, and we do have 4 Pokemon Communications. And the main reason for the high count of comms is we are playing 3 Turffield Stadium. So Turffield Stadium is awesome for grass decks, so it allows you once per turn to choose an evolution grass Pokemon from the deck, then reveal it and put it in your hand. Because we play so many evolution cards, the comms are almost always live, and it does end up becoming more useful than a quick ball in some situations, simply because we get our basics out fairly early in the game, and then we don't really need too many more basics after that. Ordinary Rod is good to put a couple more Pokemon and a couple of our basic energy cards back in the deck to make sure that our Voltage Beat is always live. Energy Recycler is our late game option if most of our energy gets into the bin, to be able to shuffle 5 energy back into the deck, again keeping that ability live. We've got the 3 switch. Most of our Pokemon are pretty bulky, so that switch is going to be useful to be able to get them out of the active. And we are playing the Tag Core package, so obviously our Rowlegs is a tag team Pokemon. And we've got 2 Mallow and Lana. I've gone for 2 Guzma and Hala, and a single Cynthia and Caitlin. as well as 3 Marnie, 4 Professor's Research, and 2 Boss's Orders. So we do have a lot of outs for supporters, as well as the tag call to be able to get into the key supporters that we need. And then for the energy count, we're going for 10 grass energy, and we've got the 2 weakness guard energy, and that is why Guzmahala is in the deck. But if it's a matchup where we don't need to get that weakness guard energy, then just having Guzmahala as an option to get either our Life Forest or our Turffield Stadium is really good, and it really helps us in the early game. Alright, so we are straight into a game. G'day, Nulko something. So we are playing against an electric deck with the patented Pikachu coin. We'll chuck a little hello. So we are going to choose to go second with this deck and hope that we can get into our Rowlegs. Rowlegs to start is good. Now either a netball or a comms would be ideal here. We see the big charm, we see the boss's orders, we see the speed energy, so I'm pretty sure that we're going to be playing against a PikaRom. So loading up that Tropical Hour GX is really going to mess up their day. There we go, we get our Grookey. Alright, so they're starting Jirachi and Boltund V. Boltund definitely has the potential to do some real damage to us. And one of the hard things is if there happens to be a Boltund with a lot of energy on it in the active, we don't always want to hit it with the Tropical Hour because we don't want to shuffle that extra energy back into their deck unnecessarily. But this will be the point where we see, yep, so they are definitely playing the PikaRom. So this matchup isn't bad for us. Them putting the big charm on doesn't really help too much, unless they've got a significant amount of healing. There's not a whole lot that we need to worry about. Put the Turffield Stadium out. I don't really want to Marnie here, so I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to pull the VMAX, let them know that we know that we've got them. Alright, so that is one of the downsides of playing only the 2-of line of Rillaboom, is that you can sometimes whiff on that, but we do have it in the hand, so it's not so bad. The question is whether they can get a turn 2 full blitz. If they can't, that's pretty rough for them. PikaRom pretty much relies on getting that turn 2 full blitz. I would say that's a big hand to chuck away if you need to Dedenne. Let's see what they get. I would anticipate a... what are they throwing out? Gotten rid of an extra Boltund. We've ditched a Volkner. We've ditched a Boss's Orders. The 2 Lightning in the bin is to be expected. Just the Zeraora. So that means they either have everything they need in their hand, or they have some key prizes that they don't really want to deal with. Alright, so opting not to go with the Raichu. So speed, so he's going to need the Tapu Koko and either an energy switch or doesn't get it. Alright. So we're going to attach our Rillaboom here. It's hard because they've got a big hand, but they've also got a dead hand. So I think it is correct to voltage beat here. It might be correct to Marnie. Alright. So I do want to get rid of my Thwacky and pull out one of my Rillaboom and make sure that I've got VMAX in hand. And we might just knock out the Jirachi. There's no real reason why not. So we're in a pretty good position here that unless they can get a 3 electro power turn. Alright, so they should get their full blitz turn, but unless they hit 3 electro powers, they're not knocking out my Rowlegs. So they may just come with the Bolthund. So that means that they have the energy switch. Yeah. I haven't seen any electro power yet. Alright, Galamine is an interesting choice. That's one. Alright, just the full blitz. So that is completely fine by me, because all of those are just going to be going into the bin. So I want 5. Now getting rid of the Mallow and Lana does hurt, but I think that we need to be greedy here. I thought we'd missed it for a second. 6 energy, and they scoop. They knew what was coming. Okay, let's get into another one. G'day, Osted. I see yellow, which may mean that we are about to encounter another PikaRom. I'm completely okay with this start. Zeraora start. Matches the box. I assume that we're going to get a PikaRom to match the cards. Lightning in the bin is normally a good sign of a PikaRom, but they fail the Quick Ball. Early Thunder Mountain, getting rid of a bosses. So I don't understand why they wouldn't. I'm very confused. I think that we Marnie them. I mean, they obviously got nothing, but... I also got nothing. That's really rough. Alright, we've both gotten off to shocking starts. Absolutely shocking starts. Having to chuck the charm on there is just... What's happening here? I'm gonna get my money back. I mean... I want to keep a lot of that stuff. Alright. So we can finally get our Grookey out. And we can also get out our Rillaboom. I hadn't seen such a bad start for this deck in a very long time. I mean, we're super lucky that they're playing terribly. So I don't know what their deck does if they got nothing from that quick ball. Like, they're relying on a... like, I don't understand what's going on. I said, what are you doing, bro? He's just got the second PikaRom that he's now going to bin. So I don't know what they're looking for. Alright, Airballoon. Throwing away the electro power rather than just using it is another odd choice. Alright, they were clearly searching for that Bolthund. They turfed my Turffield Stadium, but I just don't know what the goal is now. Like, you're gonna lose all of your energy. And I don't really know why. I mean, I'm gonna load up my VMAX. Then we're gonna Professors. We're gonna get another Turffield Stadium down because why not? Okay. I mean, I may as well just... Oh, because he's... Alright, I'm an idiot. Not paying attention. And have just completely wasted my Tropical Hour. That's really dumb. Really, really dumb. Alright, so here's how I'm going to make up for it. I'm going to give myself 2 more energy. And I'm going to switch. I'm going to Boss's Orders up the PikaRom. And then I'm going to knock it out. definitely considered putting a band in here so that I don't have to throw out 3 energy to knock out a PikaRom. Okay. Alright. So here's the thing. You get your professors, and that's fine. I assume you find an attachment this turn. But I've got the return knockout. And then you've kind of got nothing. Stamp helps. But you're just lining yourself up to... Right, I'm going to see. There's still 2 energy in there. I think this is the right play. We might even fish out a Thwacky that we don't really need. Then, oh, it's okay, never punished. How many energy have we got in the bin? We've got 6, which means we can put 5 back in. I thought I had completely messed up for a second. So they have got 150 health left. 190 plus 30 is 220. 80, so 140. Yeah. Okay, so it's still 1 extra energy. Let's thin a bit. Okay. Alright, we have shown off how bad we are at this game. But we've got knockout next turn on whatever. And I don't think that there's enough energy in their deck that they can just magically get on board to knock out my Rillaboom. So I don't know what they... Okay, cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate the win. So that is a... So we've shown how to do it well, and we've shown how to do it sloppy. But the deck definitely can beat PikaRom, both when it's working and when it is being piloted like a moron. Alright. G'day, Snezhku. I apologize if I am butchering your name. Good thing about being small, I doubt there's a chance you're watching this. So, Psychic and Dark scares me. Alright, we've got all the pieces we need, and we are against Malamar, which is great. We get to hit for weakness. I think this one's an auto win. Power Plant, yeah, cool. I don't know why you're playing this. let's see what they've got. So, quick ball. What are you bringing out? Ah, okay. Alright, so it is Turbo Malamar VMAX. So as long as they don't pop off this turn and reset stamp for me, I think that we just auto win. Alright. That is the not pop off. We've got our rail legs. We've got both of our VMAXs. I mean, let me confirm. Alright, let's just get a VMAX, just see if we can get them to scoop here. Alright. So, they would need to accelerate. Okay. So the confusion definitely hurts, but I think that they're going to go into the VMAX, which means I won't be confused. So they're just going to put a card on the bottom of the deck, which I assume is going to be Rillaboom VMAX. Or probably the Professor's Research. Okay, so I at least now know what they're going to put on the bottom of my deck. It'll be the Professor's Research. But I can just win here. And I'm not sure if they know that. Actually, I'm not sure if I know that. So I actually might... Oh, yeah, I do get the win. Cool, netball's coming in clutch. Tropical Hour GX, hit for weakness, 400 damage. See you later. Thanks for playing. Alright, we might get into one more just because I'm having fun and I feel like Rillaboom VMAX hasn't really shown off everything that it can do yet. Alright, Fire, Psychic, Steel, Water. G'day, Taco116. I'm terrible with names. Fire Sleeves, starting an Eldegoss. It's Blacephalon. Cool. Well, I mean, what do you do? Literally, what do you do? So, here's what you do. You bring out a Rail Eggs. You put a Weakness Guard energy on it. You switch it in. You hit the turf field. You hit the professor's research. You hit the Grookey. You hit the Rillaboom V. And see, this is just super depressing. Like, we've got them both. We've got them both, and I mean, the only saving grace is that they didn't get an attachment in the first turn, which tells me there's a good chance that they don't have a fire energy. And they have wasted one of their scoop up nets. So, maybe they got the fire energy off of the Intrepid Sword. No, they got it off the Giant Hearth, so why... And they've binned fire energy, so why did they not attach last turn? So do you have a second scoop up net? Do you have... You've got the welder. You're binning fire energy, which makes me think that you've got what you need. You've got the escape board, so you can come back in. Got the crystal. Alright. So you needed 3 other fire energy. You're gonna force... Okay. I may as well force 1 extra energy out of you. Alright. May as well at least get Turfield. Get out another Rillaboom. Alright, so let's say we're not going to use any of our evolution Pokemon. And just pop our weakness guard energy here. And take the return KO. Alright, let's see what you got. See, the super annoying thing is that Zacian has that resistance. So it takes 3 grass energy off of a Rillaboom VMAX to get the knockout, rather than just 2. You've got the Ultra Space. I know that you've got the Welder in hand. So the question is, can you get 6 fire energy? So we've seen 2 crystals, but we haven't seen any Blacephalon GX. Ah. So the play here, it's hard because we need to bump the stadium. But it doesn't really matter. Pretty much the best we can do is shuffle that fire energy back in and force him to attach again. Alright. Let's see if he's got it. Alright, he's got the welder. We pretty much played as well as we could have played against this deck. It's got the 4th crystal. Yeah. That's 5. Hit him with the well played. Yeah, the flex, like, man, it wouldn't matter. You could have had that Rillaboom VMAX out here and we still would have got you. Alright. So on that sad note, we will finish up with the deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. It's certainly a lot of fun. I mean, if you run into Blacephalon, you're going to lose, but that's kind of the case for a lot of decks. So yeah, I mean, in terms of what I would consider changing, I would certainly consider bringing in ditching a Guzmahala and bringing in another attacker. Probably the only thing that I would consider is maybe at the Shaman Prism Star. It certainly would increase the damage output and let us get a one-hit KO on a couple of the VMAXs, which is worthwhile thinking about. But I mean, as a VMAX, we don't really get one-hit KO'd once we get our Rillaboom out there. The other thing that I would consider, as I mentioned, is putting a Vitality Band into the deck, or potentially even getting ourselves a Big Charm just to try and add a little bit more health. But most of the things that are going to be one-hit KOing you are either Zacian, which is going to be a hard matchup for you, or Firedex, which 30 extra HP is not going to help. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a nice life. At the Shaman Prism Star, it certainly would increase the damage output and let us get a one-hit KO on a couple of the VMAXs, which is worthwhile thinking about. But I mean, as a VMAX, we don't really get one-hit KO'd once we get our Rillaboom out there. The other thing that I would consider, as I mentioned, is putting a Vitality Band into the deck, or potentially even getting ourselves a Big Charm just to try and add a little bit more health. But most of the things that are going to be one-hit KOing you are either Zacian, which is going to be a hard matchup for you, or Firedex, which 30 extra HP is not going to help. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think, what changes you would make. As I mentioned, this is very much a deck that is still in progress. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a nice life.